Boston Bruins fan, if you don't want to miss any exclusive Bruins news, subscribe to this channel now. We are constantly on the lookout for the latest dear information about your favorite team, ensuring you are always up to date with everything that happens. Join us so you don't miss any important details. Don't look now, but there's still a chance the Toronto Maple Leafs and Boston Bruins meet in the first round of the 2024 NHL playoffs. Unlike the past 2 years, when the Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning were all but deadlocked as a first-round matchup when Christmas rolled around, it is coming to an end in 2023-24. The Bruins currently sit in first place in the Atlantic Division, but after losing 2 of their last 3 games, the second-place Florida Panthers are just 1 point behind them. Both teams have just 1 game remaining. Seeing as the only thing stopping the Bruins from clinching the Atlantic Division is a win against the 76-point Ottawa Senators, you'd think the Leafs and Panthers are a safe bet for the first round, but the reality is anything can happen this season. Of the year. Whether or not the Bruins will rest any key players against Ottawa tonight is anyone's guess, but the Senators would probably love to end their season on a high note against one of the best teams in the league, and simultaneously, I'm sure the Bruins wouldn't be heartbroken recover a place to face a team that has historically lost to everyone in the postseason. Anyway, let's not beat around the bush anymore. Tonight is going to be a big night in hockey, so let's look at the list of scenarios that will determine who the Leafs play in the first round. Boston beats Ottawa in regulation or overtime/penalty. Toronto beats Florida in regulation. Ottawa defeats Boston in overtime/penalties, and Toronto defeats Florida in regulation. Leafs vs. Bruins requirements. Ottawa defeats Boston in regulation or overtime/penalty shootout, and Florida defeats Toronto in overtime/penalty shootout. Ottawa beats Boston in regulation, and Toronto defeats Florida in overtime/penalties. Boston Bruins fan, if you don't want to miss any exclusive Bruins news, subscribe to this channel now. We are constantly on the lookout for the latest dear information about your favorite team, ensuring you are always up to date with everything that happens. Join us so you don't miss any important details. Let it be known that only one of the scenarios in each possibility needs to happen. So, if Boston wins tonight, the Leafs will host the Panthers in the first round. That said, all Florida has to do to clinch first place in the division is gain a single point over the Bruins. The Panthers have more wins in regulation, giving them the tiebreaker if both teams finish with the same amount of points this season. It's pretty simple for the Leafs. If they want to avoid an encounter with their biggest demons, they simply need to show up and beat the Panthers in regulation. If they let Florida take anything away from the win, even a measly point, then their first-round opponent is in the hands of tonight's Bruins/Senators game. Either way, we'll know by Wednesday morning whether the Leafs will face an old familiar foe or a newer foe. Buckle up. Dear fan friend. We deeply understand the difficulties faced as content producers when we notice a lack of engagement from our followers. It is truly discouraging and disappointing. However, we trust that you appreciate the effort we put into providing quality content. Therefore, we count on your valuable collaboration. We ask that you subscribe to our channel and leave your like on the videos. While it may seem like a simple gesture, it makes a significant difference to the reach and relevance of our work. We sincerely thank you for continuously contributing to us. Yours sincerely, Skamaris.